Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's cold outside today. It's like 5 degrees below zero, so I thought it would be a good day for an indoor video. And what I want to talk about today is spray lubricants. Now, it's not a one-size-fits-all thing. Like, you see anybody gets any little squeak or anything, they automatically go grab the old can of WD-40 and spray it down. Yeah, most of the time it stops squeaking. But for every application, is that really the best thing to do? And I think that no, it is not. And I'm going to take some time today and explain why. And why different lubricants have different purposes and are suited for different applications. Now, one of the biggest things I see that people do that I'd really like to convince them to do otherwise is door hinges. Door hinges on your truck. When you go in for a PM service, these things don't get lubricated. It's not part of a PM service at a regular shop. Maybe a company shop, maybe they're doing that because they want to maybe take better care of their equipment. I don't know, but typically it doesn't get done. So that's something you're going to have to take upon yourself. And if your door hinges start squeaking, the first thing somebody is usually going to grab is like a WD-40 or a PB blaster. Now I hope to kind of change your mind about this. These things will stop the door from squeaking. They will lubricate it. But is it really the best thing to do? I don't think it is, because these things are also good for, like, if you get a seized up nut you need to get off, what do? You spray one of these on there, and it loosens it up and you can get the nut right off. Well, part of the reason they do that is because they contain very powerful solvents, okay? And solvents dissolve grease. So what does that do in a door hinge? Well, your truck comes with factory grease in the door hinges, and we're just using door hinges as an example on a vehicle, many other applications. So by spraying this in there, either one of these products or any product like it, everybody has their own favorite product like this, JB80, PB Blaster, WD-40, fluid film, everybody has their favorite. But by spraying this in there, you're taking that factory grease and dissolving it and essentially washing it out. So in my opinion, you're gonna get short-term results out of it, but the more you do it over and over again, you're going to wash out all that factory grease. Now both of these products will leave a film, but it's not the kind of film like a good grease lubricant or some other kind of lubricants are going to provide. So what's a better solution? Well, one of my favorite products of all time, and the problem is I can't find it anymore. I've had this particular can for almost 10 years and I use it sparingly because I can't find it anymore. It's made by Northwoods and it's called Tough Gel. This is it's a clear spray, like a Teflon, penetrant Teflon, and it resists water washout, and it's good from -30 to +500 degrees. This is a really good lubricant, and it's really good to use in door hinges. You spray this in there, and it stays in there, and it won't wash out or dissolve your factory grease. I've looked everywhere. I've seen a similar thing online made by a different company, but I don't know if it's the same thing. I don't think it is. It doesn't seem like the same specs on it. So I've had to find the replacement for this Tough Gel. And the closest I've come to it, I came across this a couple weeks ago, is this stuff. It's called First Aid, first and then AYD. It's a penetrating gel lubricant. Okay, it's fortified with PTFE. Does not say anything about having Teflon in it though. But it's a little thinner. This Tough Gel stays somewhat thick. This is a little thinner, and I imagine that's because it's made to penetrate more, but it will set up, and it's only good from -20 to 400 degrees. It also resists water washout, but I've used it on my door hinges, and it works really well. So I'm pretty happy with it. I'll try to find this online. I got it at a parts supply house where they sell drivetrain products, and they said it worked pretty good, so I grabbed some. Now you'll notice here, I got quite a collection of spray lubricants, and you're probably wondering why in the hell, but if you're into tinkering with stuff, you kind of get it. Over time, you pick things up. Some of these cans last for many years, and you see a new product and you're like, oh, I'm going to try that. I mean, it's only a couple bucks a can. We'll see if it's any good. So over the years, I've accumulated quite a collection of these different products, but I'm really liking this First Aid penetrating gel lubricant. It's ideal for hinges. So that's what I like to use for that. And also like on your door locks that are metal. But when I come across a piece that's not metal, then I like to use this AMSOIL silicone spray. It's for non-metal surfaces. So if you have something that's like plastic or Teflon, or some pieces are nylon, but you need a lubricant, like some of your locks and your mechanisms and stuff are nylon. That's where this comes in handy. I've also used it on door hinges with good success. It's not going to hurt metal, but it's not specifically designed for that. So this is actually a really good lubricant too. And also, another silicone type lubricant is the PB Blaster garage door lubricant. I do use this on my garage doors. Works really well. Really happy with it. Really quiets that garage door right down. But you know, most of these lubricants are going to do a good job. It's just there's different reasons for using them in certain applications. That's kind of what I'm trying to cover. This one here too works good for garage doors. Now, high-speed applications. You're talking about parts that rotate quick, or like a chain. Well, there's a reason to use a chain lube, okay? If you spray this stuff on and let it dry, it's designed not to fling off the chain. And that's kind of what you want. You also want one that it doesn't stay wet, therefore attracting dirt. You don't want dirt in your chain, so you want to use something that sprays on, dries, continues to lubricate, but does not attract dirt. So that's the purpose for using a chain lube. Once again, you could use a WD-40 type product on there, but it doesn't quite get as dry, and it will attract dirt. So for situations like that, like a high speed, I like this chain lube. Also, if you have say a door hinge or some kind of slider, like we did on the trailer with that slider lube, I did a video on that the other day. Springs, bushings, any kind of pivot point where you can't get a grease gun in there, you can get some spray grease. Now this happens to be a white lithium spray grease. I don't use this a ton, but you probably saw in a video I did a while back that Lucas has that red and tacky spray grease. If you have something that you can't get into really good but you need to lubricate it, maybe it's got a slide point on it, spray grease works really well for that. Now, spray grease will fling off if you try to use it on like a chain or a high-speed application. So I don't necessarily like to use spray grease for that. If you're looking for just a good all-around, all-purpose lubricant that does not contain a solvent, I like this PB Blaster multi-purpose lubricant. I mean, I use this on whatever. I even use this on the garage door rollers. Sometimes it's just whatever I happen to see and grab is what I use. But once again, going back to the solvent versus non-solvent thing. This contains Teflon, and it's just a good all-around lubricant for around the house and, you know, like lighter duty stuff, you know, lawnmowers and what have you, stuff like that. Now, there's also metal protectors, and there's one called fluid film. It's a really good metal protector. It leaves a residue, but me personally, I just can't stomach the smell of fluid film. It gives me a headache, and I don't much like that. So I like this stuff called it's by AMSOIL. It's a metal protector. This is the heavy duty metal protector, and stuff works really good. I did a test once where I found some rusty spots on my frame rail, and I cleaned them up, and I just sprayed this on my frame rail and didn't touch it for like a year. See what would happen, and it didn't re-rust. This leaves like a if you're familiar with cosmoline, it's not quite as thick as a cosmoline, but it leaves like a permanent coating on there that does not attract dirt. And I've seen experiments online where they take pieces of metal, clean them up real good, and spray it with this metal protector, and then spray another, or don't spray another one with anything, and they set them outside for like a year through the summer or winter, the rainy season, all the different seasons. They just let them sit there and leave them. Come back after a year and there's hardly really any rust on this one that's been sprayed with metal protector. And you know, of course, the one that's been sitting out there has got a real heavy, thick coat of rust on it. You could probably find those videos on YouTube. But anyway, just wanted to go over some of the different applications. And door hinges. Consider stopping using a solvent on your door hinges. It's not going to hurt them. It's not going to hurt the metal, but it's just going to help remove that factory grease. And they're going to require lubrication more often. So if you like this kind of thing, hit that like button and subscribe. Turn on a notification bell. And if anybody out there on YouTube land knows where I can find more of this Northwoods Tough Gel, please let me know in the comments below. I'd really appreciate that, because I'd really like to buy some more of it. It is one of my favorite lubricants. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time.